Okay, great. Call the meeting to order, Newburgh Community Land Bank meeting for June 17. First is attendance, and we do have a quorum. We're missing Jeffrey. Anybody else?
Schreiber.
Oh, that's right, Andrew. All right, and Jason, because he's supposed to be here.
Although he has acknowledged that this is an important board, and if, I think I said this, if we need him, we can call him,
Right.
but,
Okay.
so that's a first.
That's
Yeah.
I think we can excuse him.
But I'd like have him to come to one.
He would,
so
he
gets
would
the feel of
gladly,
it.
yes,
Okay.
he would gladly, he just,
That'd be
we've been
awesome.
dividing meetings, and he's like, you go to that one because it's important, so I've never heard that before.
All right, good. Okay, everybody had a chance to review last month's minutes?
Yep.
Did anybody see anything they need to mention or correct? Hearing no objections, may I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
thank you. All in favor, raise your hands. Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All righty, now financial reports.
The May financial statement. Balance sheet balances. Yeah, so balance sheet balances out. We're expecting a couple of big payments from our land bank initiative in the next couple weeks.
How much should we be getting then?
270,000. So, all but about 90,000 are is going out, but we're getting reimbursed, and also there's 50,000 for October, the last part of our operating grant. The good news is also that the land bank initiative funding was renewed in the state budget that just passed, so another $50 million in this year's budget. It's 40 million for capital and 10 million administrative. So that's a big relief. We just don't know when they're gonna release the application for the next round of funding. But for the operating, the phase 1 funding, I believe it'll be, it's been kind of like around August of every year, so hopefully they'll stay on that trajectory. And then the other for the capital stuff, hopefully very soon.
When, did we already make application for that?
No, like they just approved the budget and then they haven't released the next funding round yet.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah. So we have the P&L, we're 11 months into our fiscal year. The May income expenses have been pretty typical. Maybe a little bit higher this month than typical, but like usually our operating is in the 30s. It was a little bit higher this month. Probably for insurance. And we also have like more property cleanup expenses with the weed season.
Do you have a contract with the landscaper?
Yeah, with Powell, Nick Powell, he's a local. He's like he does junk removal for us, snow and landscaping.
Oh. That's good to have one guy and not have to deal with multiples.
He's great, very nice.
Yeah, really nice, and he's been very reliable and pretty decent prices. Yeah,
Anything else?
that's about it.
Any questions or comments? Chance to review everything? Okay. I'll take a motion to approve the financial reports.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Have passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay. Board composition.
So I have this on here because there's been discussion in recent meetings about how the board is composed with some of the mandatory positions and how that affects quorum, so we had looked into our formation documents, the resolutions that the city passed when we were formed, our enabling legislation, I think that's the term. And I shared it with John, and it does seem like any changes does have to go through the city council.
What do you mean, to the composition?
So like there's some like ex officio positions, and appointed by certain boards, and then there's community.
Can you, at the same time, I'm wondering if we should change the city manager. It's difficult for
Yeah,
them
we've
to.
never had
Right,
them show up.
That was, I think, what kind of,
right, so maybe it
Position.
should be
Or
the,
appointee.
Or is it?
yeah, whoever
designated?
and the council can discuss it. I would imagine it would be chief of staff. We're gonna go probably back to chief of staff, but
so like a designee of the city manager
Yes,
office.
The city manager or his designee. kind
What
of
do you
call.
think of that, John? I don't know what, John is the expert on this.
Yeah, I'm no expert. I just want to just sort of reiterate that Jennifer was able to track down the original March 2012 legislation authorizing the creation of the land bank. And it said what we expected it to say, which was that these 4 seats were built into that legislation. So there's not a darn thing you can do about that without the council changing them. I'm not, I'm sorry?
No, finish your thought, sorry.
That's okay. I'm not an expert as to, how that should change to the better. You folks are in a much better position to know that. My only advice is because it's a political process to make these changes, if you have changes that, I'd go back with all the changes you want to make at one time, and try to get it all through at the same time, because I assume it's going to be a little bit of a heavy lift to get the council to act.
no, I don't think so. Just
No?
add it to the agenda
Yeah.
discussion, right? Should be simple.
The other strange thing is that my position is, the head of the distressed property task force, which doesn't meet anymore. So I was just the last one.
Planning.
I would just say something in the charter, right? It's a planning board member, planning board's in the charter, so something in the charter, so in case it dissolves.
Okay, so what if you can't attend, can Jonathan attend?
No, well, that's
Or
one thing that was brought up, is that it's not or designee. If we added that to the charter language, could that happen, John?
You're talking about substitute board members? The quick answer is no, it's not a good idea. You really want board members, and typically they're either appointed, right? Someone has the authority to appoint a board member, the mayor, the common council, the county executive, they make an appointment, or it's ex officio. You occupy your seat because you occupy some other seat. You are the director of planning. You are, the treasurer, X, Y, or Z, and whoever occupies those other positions of government takes the seat. I do have thoughts and opinions on that if you're interested, but
Let's, this distress task force thing, that language is archaic. So Ally, there is nobody, according to we have nobody covering distress task force, so that needs to be eliminated.
Although the last time I went out on maternity leave, and just for FYI, I'm done, so this shouldn't happen again. But the last time I went out, there was a meeting, and we just appointed someone else in that meeting to be the chair, so they filled in at the land bank for me.
Oh, who was that?
It was Bill Horton,
Oh, right,
for
right.
just,
That's
just
right.
for 3 months.
And
Yeah,
that committee,
It hasn't met.
or task force, there's no plans to bring that
it
back.
didn't meet with the last administrator, and or the last manager, and it hasn't, I don't think it'll meet with this one, I don't know, we could, but.
It's at their behest, they're.
Yeah,
if
that's why I think if we change it, it should just be something in the charter that's
Like,
not
they could
going
be
to
the planning
change.
director.
The planning director, or,
Yeah, that makes
anything,
more
there's
sense.
lots of things in the charter, just something that they can't easily abandon, and then.
Right, that's pretty permanent.
Perfect, right,
So who are the 4? It's a council member, Ally,
planning board
someone from
member.
planning board. Yeah,
City
but
man,
that's anybody from
manager.
planning board.
The city manager is the only, well, the city manager and that task force chair are the two that are ex officio. The planning board member and the city council member is appointed by that body.
That's correct. It's a member of the Newburgh City Council to be appointed by the council, the city manager, the chairperson of the Newburgh Property Remediation Task Force, and a member of the Newburgh Planning Board to be appointed by the planning board.
Right, so if, so that position, my position as from planning is that, okay, I don't wanna do this anymore. Anybody can be appointed from the planning board to do this. So it keeps it more fluid as opposed to the distressed property task force. And, you know, it's important to have a city manager on here, but if they're not gonna come to the meeting, we need to think about how we can word that or find somebody else.
I do represent another land bank that their board is 100% made up of ex officios. They either work for the county or they work for the city for which the land bank was created. And I can tell you from experience, it's not ideal.
I was waiting for it.
Yes, because I was doing that.
Because what inevitably happens, and I watch it all the time, is that they work at the pleasure of the county executive or the mayor. They don't have the land bank's best interests at heart. They have to go, after every board meeting, they have to go back to City Hall or the county executive building and answer to their bosses. So it sounds like you're already aware of that.
Well, I think I was aware of it just in the sheer nature of it, but we didn't plan it that way.
I do think it's better having we actually have majority community member positions. And that, especially now, seems to be working out well. We do have a lot of people that are part of other, like, land use boards and stuff, and that's been really useful. And I do, like, having gone to this land bank meeting recently, it does seem a lot like those land banks that have all those ex officio, they don't have any community members, which I think is problematic for a lot of reasons, but also, yeah, it's like very political, everything that's happening. And
yeah.
They can't really do a lot of what they wanna do.
No, I imagine if you've got X number on county budget and X number on the city budget, and they aren't talking, it wouldn't be good for us. Okay, so we need to come up with some language. We'll work on that before we
I
go
think
over it.
the timing would just be get language, send it to Michelle Kelson, and then she'll put it on an agenda. It'll probably take a couple months, but I don't think it's a big lift other than getting it in the pipeline.
yeah,
unless you
I
think
agree. No, I agree.
But maybe try to think of anything else we might want.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, that sounds good. Alrighty, so we'll work on that. Okay, property related matters, legacy cities.
So, as we all know, we're working on the second round of, Legacy City homeownership program. It's been kind of on hold because we haven't had, a state budget. So the Legacy City program, which is kind of ending, but they're reserving funding. That was already funded, but it's not sufficient to cover the whole project combined with the CPC loan. We have like a $1.6 million funding gap, which is not insignificant. And, wanted to use a big portion of a potential next round of land bank initiative funding to fill that gap. So was waiting for the budget to pass. And since it passed, I did speak to Crystal Loeffler, who oversees the land bank initiative, and she, had already spoken to Bert Blackman, who oversees the Legacy City program, and she was fine with that. The only issue, though, is that kind of boxes us into this one. They only give up to $2 million per award, so then we're kind of like don't have very much left to do anything else.
Sorry, just said a different way, they only give $2 million per land bank per year?
Per round of funding, so you have to use it up,
Got it.
right? And, and they've been kind of issuing the rounds in like different ways, like sometimes it's I don't know, it's just been spaced out, like it's not really like a pattern.
So you
But
can't,
essentially, you always have to kind of use up the majority of your current round before you get more funding.
Okay.
So, you know, I did talk to her about like, well, maybe we can just like, when we start construction, like, use all the land bank money first, so then we can use up that grant. And that's also a better way to do it, because then you're not using the CPC money, which comes with interest. You know, which is similar to what we tried to do the last round with just the other state money, using that first.
So CPC money is bridge money while you're waiting for another.
No, it's just construction loan.
But you would only use it at the end
You
between.
use it like you try to, yeah, use it at the end. It's also,
Much higher interest rate.
yeah, the other doesn't have an interest, yeah, so we did save on construction interest in the last round, doing it that way. It's not always possible to do it 100% that way, because it's like there's per unit amounts, but that's one thing to consider, and also we're trying to get other sources of funding for the legacy city to kind of reduce the amount of land bank funding we need to use, but that's, you know, at least there's a way forward for this project, and I did go back to CPC to continue the underwriting process, and we're starting that. Part of that is setting up another legal corporation. So last time we had this Newburgh Legacy HDFC, which was kind of a joint venture between us and Carlos as the contractor / co-developer. I mean, really as a co-developer, the contractor part is a separate contract, but we have 60% interest and he has 40% interest, and that's kind of how we share the sales proceeds at the end. In return for that, he gives us a better contract, you know, he charges less upfront. So we could move ahead with starting to form another HDFC, would be Newburgh Legacy 2 HDFC. Because we can't reuse the old HDFC that we set up. So I guess I would need a resolution from the board to proceed with setting up that HDFC. Yeah, and then just also as an update, we did go to the ZBA last month and got, for 3 of the buildings, it was 128 Du Bois, 11 South Miller, and 140 Chambers. We got variances for, you know, minor setbacks and parking. So we have done that, and
that's all the variances we needed.
yes.
Yeah.
So we're ready to move ahead once we have, you know, we can close on financing, we're pretty much ready, you know, we almost have final construction sets to be able to file for permits.
So in setting up the HDFC though, are we wouldn't bid the work because we are. What do we do
Yeah, I mean,
about
similar
costs
to
and
what we did last time,
Because he's a co-developer.
yeah, it's like kind of only makes financial sense to be the contractor and co-developer.
And the numbers you came back with after revision were more.
Much better, yeah.
just in other
And I can share
situations
that.
where there gets a point where you need to rebid, right?
Right.
You get to a point where they just keep it, with anything, the bus
Yeah.
system, everything, where they keep creeping up, and then you're like, hey, we need to make sure that our preferred person, who I'm not suggesting
Right.
anything other than that, but our preferred person's rates are still competitive.
Right.
So 1 round of co-developer, great,
Right.
maybe 2 rounds, okay, but I just
Right.
wanna throw that out
Yeah.
there, that there's gonna be a point where I'm just not gonna be comfortable
I hear you, yeah.
without checking for
He did bid on
the
the
stabilization, right?
stabilization,
Yeah,
and he did come down significantly with the number, so just in terms of that, I think. But yes, I fully understand what you're saying, yeah.
And this is sunsetting, so we wouldn't be in it.
There's no other, yeah, I don't know how we would do future projects.
Right.
There isn't really other sources to do, the thing about Legacy City that works well for us, nobody else seems to like it, but that they give you the subsidy per unit. Even though there's only one owner's unit, so that we're doing three families and one 2-family, and you get three, the subsidy of 150,000 times 3. Which there's no other ownership program that does that. But other land banks, it didn't work for them very well. I think because they're mostly doing single family, and so it just works out to do other programs for them.
One other thing I wanna bring up about Carlos, and we'll probably talk about it later, but this is related to the assessment issue. He needs to stick to
Yeah.
the design that Jeff,
Yeah.
that's approved by the ARC.
Yeah,
If there's a change, that's fine, but I didn't know there was a change, I don't know that you knew there was a change. So, because then we can go back before this becomes a disaster, so just tighten that up. The feedback I got was about the specific window issue was, well, it's cheaper, we bought all the windows at once.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't work with the
No.
ARC, and then,
I think what
You know,
happened
screw
also
the
is that what was
ARC, but
delivered
like-
was different than what was ordered.
right, sure,
Right.
so, but
But then
but no
it's
one knew about it, right, it
50%.
spiraled out
Yeah.
of control in this
Right,
case,
right.
it's just something that's really impactful to the property owners, so just, it needs to be tight, they
Yes,
need to
the
understand
story,
that
yeah,
there's.
it's like exactly,
Yes.
or we have to give an amendment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, or we need to know about it, exactly,
Right.
if there's a change, it's just more
It has to be
consequential than
approved,
other
and-
things.
yeah, understood.
Were you able to work that out with the assessor?
They're gonna pay it this year, they're gonna have to, there is no other there is no other legal mechanism. They missed, because
They
it was
didn't
so
go to
late, they
grievance.
missed grievance date too, there is no legal mechanism, I'm more frustrated than you, I assure you,
Whoa.
so.
Wow,
The only good thing is that nothing got reassessed this year.
right, it's the
So,
same as
getting it.
But they're,
2025.
but they're paying
They're
on
paying
600,000 is.
Right.
And they
Next
paid
year-
last year as well because of the sale went through for both of those buildings in April.
Oh, so it's no different than what they paid last year,
Right.
okay,
Oh,
so
it's not on 600,
yeah.
it's on 300.
They're paying 350, 400.
350 and
That's
400, oh, okay,
Before
sorry.
Before the final roll comes out, that's when.
I saw an assessment that was like 580 something, so.
Wow.
okay.
I think something got reduced,
Okay, so maybe there is a different.
but I'm not
okay.
sure, I haven't actually seen them.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
but I think it's a big mistake on a lot of, but I think it's much clearer now, and I think there's confidence that it will not happen like this again. So
Yeah, because I do feel concerned,
Yes,
because
I
I like to do this again.
I asked,
Yeah.
I brought your name
Yeah,
to our corporation council and was like, Jen is not going to do this again, the land bank's
Right.
not gonna do this again unless there's some understanding that this will not happen again, and they were like, no, we actually have confidence, we've reviewed what went wrong. And like multiple mistakes, but for reasonable reason, no, I don't know, can a reason be reasonable, I don't know, but you know what I mean, they were, right, that person left, didn't do the thing right, so they are confident that this is. a
I just hope that
one-time thing.
they get an extension, like they still get their full credit of 10 years.
Oh, that's, I
Yeah.
don't know the answer to
Like,
that,
I
but that's
think
something
it'll be
that's.
I
retroactive.
don't think so.
You don't-
It sounded like
It
it would
starts
last
from
for 1
when-
year.
We're talking about the historic tax exemption, if anybody's.
Yeah, the
Lost.
444,
444, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what she said to me is they would lose a year.
okay,
Yikes.
Yeah,
But if we know that there's a positive way forward, we just have to stay on to see what that looks like.
And they have to file that grievance form if they get that.
they
letter
should
in.
do it, and
They
the
should
other
have
feedback we got was file it today,
Yes.
which they're gonna do their ARC and then, but file it soon because she can give feedback. So if everything had worked properly, it was filed with plenty of time, the assessor can say, hey, your mailbox is out of compliance. You can go to either move your mailbox or go to the ARC for a fix before taxable status date. The issue was, it was after, and then grievance day had passed and.
that was and I don't know what the outcome of this was, but when I sat down to talk to her about it, on David's house specifically, she said, well, it's the sconces and the unpainted door. And I said, well, really, like
Well, I got
lighting?
it right, I got it listed,
Yeah.
right, we now have a list in writing.
Yeah.
It is,
Of course, but
other than Megan's windows, which I'll call consequential.
Yes.
Everything else
Yeah.
I would call inconsequential, so.
Yeah.
And I said that, I said,
Mailbox
like,
location.
people bring us lighting specs all the time at
Right.
ARC, it's actually a bigger planning board deal of like, is it the appropriate color temperature?
We went through the
We don't.
minutes and there was in fact no
No discussion,
discussion,
yeah,
right?
right.
Approved as it was.
Right.
There was no, and that, you know,
So was that, because she was saying, oh, I'm getting notes from the final that didn't go back?
I have
to-
not dug into some of the statements said by her, because at some point I just need to walk away, but I believe what was, and I didn't speak with her and she didn't say these statements to me,
that's right.
but what I've heard from you and others are statements that are false. There is no way that there, we don't have a
Never heard of
mechanism.
codes doing
We don't have a
anything.
mechanism for some of the things to happen like she said happened. There's just, it's not that someone did it wrong, which I totally definitely happens, but the way she described them, we don't have that mechanism. So she was confused about a process is what I'm gonna leave it at.
You wouldn't get a CO if there were,
Oh, 100%, right, and it, right.
Okay.
So-
Anything else? on this
So the,
one?
are you comfortable doing a resolution to form the new HDFC for the purpose of?
So it's 60-40 again, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that right now. Who would like to make a motion to?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to create an HDFC, tentatively called Legacy City HSBC, but.
Newburgh
Sure.
Legacy too.
Newburgh Legacy 2, for a joint, development between Carlos Carbonaro and the Land Bank for the development of 140 Chambers, 128 Du Bois, 11 South Miller, and 238 First Street. How's that?
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Yeah, make sure we get everything on the record, okay? Yay, okay. Okay, what else you got? Construction redevelopment?
That's it, they're kind of waiting for financing at this point.
Okay. Restore New York.
So we had our first, first with the structural stabilization update. We have continued working at 72 and 78 Lander Street. Those are kind of finishing up. 78 Lander, there was a big question of how to address the storefront and significant structural issues there at the storefront and the leaning of the building. And we had the structural engineer come out a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. And what he has determined, he gave us kind of three options. So we've temporarily installed C-channel beams on the side of the building and then a diagonal to support the building, and that will enable us to do work at the storefront without the building falling down.
That's a good idea.
So we could just leave that, but it's not very attractive. Another option is to do a moment frame inside the building behind the storefront, but that there's kind of a lot, it's more expensive and there's a lot of space constraints there and historic detail that would be disrupted. And then the third option is doing a moment frame that's like to the side, so it's just.
Exterior?
It's exterior, like, so we have the vacant lot that's next to it that we're making into a driveway. And so there would be like this rectangular frame,
Could it be
steel frame.
a gateway?
It could be kind of set up as like an arch, and, we're gonna work on that, we're working on a little bit more, what that would look like, but I think that was kind of determined to be the best option at this point.
Yeah.
So that was good though, that structural, because the building, it's a very tall building, there's a lot of different reasons why it's kind of structurally unstable. So that was, we've been dealing with that, and then 76 Lander, we've done some walkthroughs and we're hoping to be able to do some work there to stabilize it, clean out, which has never been cleaned out in like 25 years or something, and there's, serious fire damage and no roof. So we determined we have about $125,000 left in our current grant for rehab that we could spend there and do a significant amount.
Stabilize it and clean up.
Yeah, clean out, like roof, and they'd have to do some kind of like build-in structure, like build up some walls as they go because it is very.
Sways in the breeze.
Yeah. So, but that's our next move, with the stabilization, basically doing the storefront at 78 and starting at 76.
Is there anything left of the storefront?
Yeah, there's the two cast iron.
Really?
Yeah, oh, good,
It's the wooden header, which I think
Yeah.
is the issue, reason it's failing.
Right now there's a steel
Oh, there is
beam
a
up
steel
in the
beam, okay.
front.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
so
they
the
didn't get
front
that
and
out.
the side,
Right.
Yeah. okay.
yeah,
Because that would be a lot to replace, and you really should have that, as opposed to
Yeah.
something more modern.
and we are trying to go for historic tax credits. I initiated a conversation with Andrew's person, who works with investors, and I filled out like an online form, and then we hear back from them. But we're not as far along, I guess, in terms of having hard cost numbers and the next phase of the application to the state for the credits. But we're moving ahead with that, and hopefully we'll be able to work with them. Because it is a smaller project, I guess there aren't as many investors that want to do that. We went to the planning board meeting last night for the first time to present our site plan. And got some, feedback and comments from engineering and planning department, and it's pretty positive, and work on the next
Yeah, a lot of paperwork
version.
needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, but nothing too crazy.
Right.
And we're gonna go to the July 6th CAC meeting. We're also simultaneously working on parking studies, and because we have to go to the ZBA for some of the properties.
Did they give you direction about parking studies? You're not gonna have to do hire anybody, you can just do photographs.
No, we just did it for the Legacy City buildings ourselves.
Yeah, so
Eric
that'd
and
be-
David worked on it, and so we have that kind of format template.
Yeah, that should suffice. Alrighty. So we're all done with the Langer Street properties?
For now, yeah.
Okay. Structural stabilization, finish that. Site plan review. What's that?
That's what I just said, it was presented to the planning board.
Oh, that's what.
You were there.
Oh, I might not
It was
remember.
12:30 AM, so perhaps
I was really.
you might not remember, it was a blur.
Oh, God. And I hadn't had dinner because I just couldn't eat anything.
Oh, wow.
You always say this, she always
But
says,
I-
I can't eat beforehand, I'm like, well, what are you gonna eat after?
You gotta forget that.
At 9 or 10, I can eat something, but 12 o'clock, I'm not even eating.
Diana handed me a chunk of chocolate, which is what got me through.
I had to go home and get something. It was insane.
Yeah.
We were, 1 AM ending to that meeting.
Okay, purchaser updates.
Oh, I meant to ask you, Ally, ahead of time, but, so 34 Lander, they had like a work stop order for working on the weekends, I believe. I think, I was told that they did get, that lift, like they can continue working regular hours, but can't work on the weekends, or maybe even apply to work on the weekend.
They haven't come to us at all.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, so then anyway, yeah, enough doesn't seem, like they did get a permit for a significant amount of work, but it doesn't seem like they've gotten any other land use.
I have the wrong phone, because we were at the house, but,
And so I wrote them a very detailed email about what they needed to do to like get back on track, including going to the ARC. But never heard back. They don't respond to any communication. But it does seem like work has started again. I've seen workers there this week.
What's the deal about not working on weekends?
you just need to get it's a noise ordinance thing, so you need a
Oh.
specific permit. And Saturdays are reasonable, and then Sundays have to be like an emergency reason.
Okay,
You just need to ask.
Gotta file it every
Yeah.
week, so.
every week.
So they
Oh,
didn't file
Yeah.
anything, so I guess they had a work stop order overall.
Yeah.
But they seem to, now they can work again, but,
And they could have a demo permit, but it seemed like,
what I saw was like a full permit.
Okay, Quinetta's she's less interested in getting partial permits these days, things like
Because it's
this,
just
for
a mess.
reasons like this.
I mean, I saw the part, she sent me a
Uh-huh.
copy of the permit and it was like for everything, so that, I was a little confused since they haven't been to ARC.
that's a complicated building.
And it's a very complicated building, the whole layout and everything, and how it is on the lot.
That building needs to go to everyone. I mean, I assume for what they wanna do with it, it's gonna be a long planning review.
Oh,
I mean, there's streetscape standards, the back is
Mhm.
that wonky block building.
oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, I mean, so
Do
Yeah,
you
sure.
have the permit?
we,
Do
I
you have-
have like,
Can I look at it right now?
Oh.
Sorry, I don't have the right phone, so I can't, I apologize, I'm unprepared.
that's okay,
It's my kid's graduation from kindergarten,
Oh.
they had moving classrooms, but they had a whole production.
She's not moving classrooms,
No,
so making that.
They do a
into-
K, no, she's in a
She's in
K1
K1.
class.
I haven't before. Well, and she's now gonna be helper, so that will be why she'll move along with teaching, helps you learn.
If not, but we can do this later.
yeah, I have it here. It's the permit, let's say,
Yeah, but yeah, that. Building, add, alter, repair existing single family or townhouse. Update plumbing, electric, insulation, concrete. Printing, I don't know what that is, sheetrock, windows, doors, deck roof, shingles, floor. So
That's a building permit.
that's a building permit, I mean, they must have,
Decorative shingles.
no, sorry, I was just mumbling,
Oh, wow.
sorry,
They are doing
deck
something
roof
to decorate.
shingles,
Oh,
deck
okay.
roof
Oh.
shingles.
It's a flat roof.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Floors, do framing where it's needed, cut a tree as needed.
That is really weird that it hasn't
That
come
it
through land
hasn't-
use. I mean,
and I've said, like, it seems like they've exposed siding and stuff, or.
Yeah, I mean, they can make the case that they're not changing anything, which they must have to get this.
but I don't think
But
there's an
that's
existing
not-
CO for it. I mean, I know there's not, actually.
no, and still, you'd have to go, would that make?
Yeah, but
major
single
work?
family to single family might,
I think it's a 2. I hear. all
well,
the-
what they're saying, it's going to be a single family though, going down does not, she has given them a permit to make it the permit is single family, going down, you don't have to go to the land use, well, you have to go to ARC still, but not.
Yeah,
the
they probably don't
others.
have to come.
That's like a crazy single family
Yeah,
house.
insane.
I hear you, but
Yeah.
that is what the permit, so I think what maybe they'll have to do is pull their application and see what they
Yeah. what if
wrote
they-
on paper they're
Okay,
going to
yeah.
do.
Cause I can tell you on building, I'm
Yeah,
going.
exactly,
down to
you
a
can
one.
go and I mean, at some point, you can fully lie, sign your name to it, and there's not much we can do until you don't do what you say you're gonna do.
Well, so I have engaged an attorney and we were gonna proceed with that, you know, even if they're starting to do work, like to keep them.
Well, did
just to
they
keep
say
them-
they were going to do something other than a single family?
I
What did
think-
they tell?
Oh, our original, or their application, I think with the
That's what-
permit
No,
application.
no, what did they say to us? I mean, cause that's often.
They were gonna go larger than 3 families.
Right,
there.
so that's a change from what we agreed to anyway.
Yeah,
And that's a significant change. I don't know that, right, we would necessarily approve them over someone else because we're looking for more housing.
Yeah,
Well, and it certainly has the square footage and because it's there.
and
You
who
can
we
do
are, you know, it's
Yeah.
not just any group that's
Right.
given money.
that's something to look at,
Cause that permit is 100%, they're
I
saying
might
they're turning
have
into a
the
single family.
paperwork right here. Let's see. Pretty sure I still have the Dropbox folders.
I mean, they haven't even gotten like an official extension from us, I don't think. That's, 4 years.
Right.
We gotta tighten that up. I really don't wanna close back places, but come on. Especially if they're running fast and loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so they're suggesting, that they're not keeping that door, so I'm gonna quit. Okay. Cause I was gonna say, under those panels, are there windows? Maybe, right? We're just gonna repair the window.
They're
Are there
barely
code-
even there.
What?
They're barely even there.
Right.
I mean, there are places
Well,
where
Ken,
there
I'm saying
are
for a
windows.
for a building permit, can you say, I'm using exactly the same windows, right? How do you get?
I think it would be a determination from.
But usually they go
PS2.
after ERC anyway, I mean,
Yeah, almost always.
so it's weird.
Okay, Porto application.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that 510, I just,
Oh, okay.
voting if you have to vote.
Okay.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
88.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
kid.
36.
I mean, I think we still have quorum, but,
Okay, okay,
we could jump to that.
Oh, sure we can.
sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Mommy duties.
Operate as a rental, renovate. Proposal complies with current zoning. He hasn't written anything here.
I can go back and look at our application or whatever we have.
Definitely.
Should we go to 88 Kidney and 236 Powell?
Sure, we're gonna make a little change in the agenda so that we can vote on a couple of resolutions. Okay, property acquisition, 88 Kidney Avenue.
So these are these 2 properties are the ones that we discussed with last month, the Mount St. Mary agreed to sell to us. And we're now in contract. They accepted our offer and we're in contract, but I need a resolution from the board.
What did we settle on price wise?
175,000 for the 2 properties.
And that's this resolution.
Yeah.
It's 03/2025, it's probably.
Oh, yeah, I can change that. I don't even know if that's the 3rd.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 03/2026.
I'll second.
Thank you. Take a look, make sure you understand what you're signing.
I need to double check the number of the resolutions.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
just, yeah.
This is the resolution.
Alright, the resolution approving the acquisition of various properties from. Oh, this is from. Yeah, this is from city of, am I reading the wrong one?
Approving, yeah, from the city of Newburgh, we're not getting them from the city of Newburgh, we're getting from
No,
Mount
St. Mary's.
College.
What is this? Oh, okay, that top part has to be changed, sorry.
That's why we read them, baby.
Alright, let's start over. I'll make a motion to approve a resolution approving the acquisition of 88 Guinea and 236 Powell from Mount St. Mary for a price of $175,000.
And would you mind calling it Powell Avenue rather than just Powell?
Mhm.
Okay. I need, I have a second,
Yeah.
and, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 100%, thank you very much. Now, figure out what we're gonna do with that property. That's a sexy property. Okay. We'll go back up to our, updates at 38 Lander.
So 38 Lander, I shared the email exchange I had with the buyer. Yeah, I asked for an update. Cause they've been stalled.
And it was a month that it took for him to respond to you?
Yes.
At first I was like, oh, it's bad, I thought that was another typo.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
okay.
not me, this is an email.
Yeah, I know.
And that's fast for him.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, right, exactly, that's.
So, well, he didn't really have a response, like, he didn't have it, it's the same information he gave me in October. And I also brought up, so I brought up, what's happening with your financing, what's with the construction, and also I have concerns about, the compliance with the
It
historic.
sounded to me like AI wrote this.
Yeah, that's.
His response.
Yes, it's just, cause.
Then he was like, tell me what I need to
regurgitating
do, I'm like,
the
well,
thing.
you have an ARC approval, like,
Yeah.
look at that and do
That's
that.
why it sounds like
And
either
when
he's
was that?
lost in the weeds or he just had AI write the response. Yeah, my goal is to move urgently towards it.
I look forward to working.
Yeah,
cooperatively.
So, I mean, the thing that's missing on here, even because I deal with these a lot, is
Mhm.
I'm applying for a blank thing,
Right.
right? He's not even throwing like his random lifeline of like, oh yeah, that grant I'm obviously never gonna get, but I'm gonna apply for it anyway, here it is in here, and once I get that grant, like, we're not even there.
Right, and he's been in conversation with CPC
Right,
for like
that's how-
2 years.
right, that's
You
like-
know, I spoke to CPC
Right.
about the project here on the street, on Lander Street. And they didn't really know how to help him.
Right, and PLP's out of money, so they're not, CPC was sending people to PLP, but they're not, so,
Mhm.
I mean, he's just,
Stringing us along.
yes.
I think this is a person that we need to, or a concern that we need to set on some kind of deadlines.
Agreed, yeah.
And the first is he still in ARC compliance, do you know?
Is not.
Okay, so we'd have to go back to ARC.
The tricky thing about that is,
Yeah.
if you don't really come back to us.
I don't think he needs to come in, I think he needs to
Do what he was supposed to
do
do.
what he's, right, that's.
He has
So it's not like 2 over 2
expired.
versus 1 over 1, but they're the right windows, that's
The,
not.
the permit
Put in
could
like
be
vinyl
expired,
windows.
it's possible, I don't know
What?
if he has, does he have a current work permit?
I'm not sure if it's still active, I mean, it's been.
So probably it has expired.
I mean, it's halfway through the year, I think that it's reasonable to have things by December 31st, you need to have detailed financing. An active permit, which he's not gonna get because everything's expired.
Current fund. Okay. And we need this in a month?
Well, she said.
He can't do some of those things in a month, so
Okay.
Is
it
there,
could be shorter time, but.
is there an easier way to say to him, you can revert this to us without,
Penalty.
I mean, is there some other out besides dragging him through? It sounds like it's not gonna happen.
Well, and then once we give him the letter that says we're taking it back, that starts a 1 year. But often in response to that letter,
Right, that's
We
what
get
the
that
issue
back.
was with 34, that they
Yeah.
don't issue. I know, but we could just start a conversation like casually,
I don't know if we need casual, we've been
Should we
kind of
put a date?
casual.
Well, I'm just saying
like not a legal letter, but say.
it would be better for him if he, took the loss on this and didn't incur legal expenses to a great degree going through court, trying to revert this to
Right.
just say, yes, like,
It would be cheaper
I
than
should-
even going back to ARC at this point.
yeah. I don't know if he can like quit claim the deed back, but something like that to say, okay, like, I understand I'm not gonna get this done. Like, cut your losses.
Mhm.
We should almost have a form letter.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
AI.
Do either of our attorneys have anything, any suggestions or thoughts about that? Dan was the one who did the closing.
We're listening.
He doesn't seem to hear
Is he there?
us.
They're moving, but I don't know if they
Or
hear
John.
us.
I assume you were looking for Dan, not for me.
Oh, Dan?
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah, I'm asking you to.
Okay. In listening to this last conversation, I think if you are all okay with that, what I'm going to suggest is what about if, and I'm sorry, my video seems to be off today. I don't know why. And I look blurry probably, but what about if if you allowed him to resell the property to someone acceptable to you, so he would get back his purchase price, and perhaps if the property is worth more because he put something into it or time passed or however, that would allow him to at least recoup his original cost, because you don't want to buy it back from him.
No,
And perhaps you could engineer to find someone who would be more able to do the project.
I hadn't thought of that.
Have
What
we
do you
ever
think?
done that?
We've never
City
done it.
council
we're-
has, right?
Yes.
We've done that with we've done that a couple times, when someone gets deep in, they have someone else to take over.
Right,
It's
we've done that.
yeah, and
Not
then, and
often,
the
but-
reverter goes on the new person too.
The founder.
Okay, fair point.
I didn't think.
The Greater Syracuse Land Bank has done it pretty routinely.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The Syracuse land bank, did you say?
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
we don't use reverters. It's a different system, but we've permitted transfers when someone can't complete a project to someone who can. Yes.
And then we don't have to worry about marketing and screening, he has to bring us someone reasonable.
or
It would be good to suggest someone to him,
that's,
because, you know, it's a
you could
small
find
group of
someone we've
people.
already talked about and say, oh, yeah, I'll take that.
I think it's a 4-family, he's somehow gotten,
No, 3.
it's a 3,
And you
okay.
put an extension on the back to make that,
So that is still, like, that's a very saleable property.
yeah. They don't want to work, I
And I think
haven't
the
seen the inside of it.
sprinkler lines in there, like, I think
That's
there's,
great.
uh,
So we could,
That, I think that's a good,
so if we ask him,
That's a good
easier
option.
than a lot of other things.
it's also just less like punitive, we're not trying to crush
Right,
this
just
guy,
like,
we're
let
trying
us
to have a
help you
good
get out of
outcome.
this mess.
Right.
we wanna
Yeah.
get it developed, you don't wanna lose any more money.
Yeah.
So knowing base cost and then get him to provide documentation of the costs that he put in. Because he shouldn't make any money on the deal, is what I'm thinking.
I don't think we can control that though.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna have to be reasonable about it realistically, or it's not gonna sell, like anyone doing due diligence on it is gonna want, they can go through those numbers with him.
Okay,
I think just making sure it gets done, like, we don't
I like
care,
that idea,
it just has to
Yeah,
get
right.
done.
yeah,
well,
it's just
we-
been, yeah, a long time now, and it's just messing around.
well, that's, yeah, is that an either or thing, like, you may wanna have somebody take it over for you.
Yeah, we don't have confidence.
Or just give it back to us for
Right,
free.
exactly,
Right.
right,
Two
we
options.
suggest these are your 2 paths forward, maybe that's what it is.
Right,
These are 2 paths that the
Yeah.
board would accept going forward.
Would we wanna consider him continuing to do the
No.
work? Okay,
That's what I'm saying, he's
He's
so
not-
far,
Doesn't
he's
sound
not,
like he's going,
he's
he's
not even,
capable of doing
yeah,
that.
he's not even researching new funding.
yeah, there's no,
He just keeps
there's no
repeating the
money,
same
just,
one, right.
yes, and then say, oh yeah, everything, I'm morally working on it. Okay,
Right, and the most concerning to me is with respect to the historic district and AR, like what? Yeah, that whole
Like, what do
paragraph,
I need to do?
he doesn't even understand
Yeah.
the basics.
Sorry.
no, thank you for being here. Deanna. Hi to the girls.
Yes, yes. Go get them from the here.
So we'll get a legal letter out to them, to this man. Yes. When would we want a response to that?
30 days.
Really?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
this
just
has
saying
been
30
going
days.
on.
No, that's what I'm talking, now I'd say,
Yeah, for a letter response, yeah.
okay,
Honestly, it's a lifeline. I think that's,
Mhm.
yeah, get out from under.
It's interesting because I was just reading today with one of these plans that the city had put out for dealing with these type of properties, and this block was like this prominent picture of the 34 and 38 Lander and 36, which I guess never came under city ownership, which was kind of the whole issue with getting these done, because that middle property that's attached has been privately owned. But yeah, so that was like from 2014, that report.
Okay.
well, that's the one other thing worth considering. Would someone want to buy both? I mean, we're in a similar place, it sounds like, with both of them.
Yeah, just like, 2 months behind, but
Right.
similar.
Okay.
He's at least, 34 is still managing to like sort of answer questions.
Although,
He doesn't respond to me, he
Oh,
just
he's not-
continues
oh,
doing
no.
the work or whatever, but I
Right.
don't get any
Comments.
information directly.
but getting stop work orders in the building has had fire, like,
Right.
we've
Yeah.
already,
Yeah,
I don't actually think it's gonna work out. that
alright, so
well.
maybe they should both get the letter.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I mean, someone wanting to take a project on, having just like us side by side things, almost side by side things.
Yes.
I mean, it's possible that person also could go to that middle owner, I don't know at this point, if they, but that building's in very tough shape. Try and make a 3
Mhm.
parcel project.
It take quite a bit of logistics when the two owners don't have anything in common.
Right,
But if we have people that, saying, kind of looking and say, well, this property's probably coming back on and, maybe you could talk to this guy and see if he'd like to do a deal. So do we want to send a legal letter to 34 also?
I think so, send the
Yeah.
same thing to both.
Okay.
Saying
when
we
you
have
say legal
concerns-
letter, is that from an attorney?
No,
or-
I think it's from you, I think it's
No,
not,
I'm
okay.
sorry, I just referred to
Yeah.
it.
we have concerns about your ability to proceed, we recommend either of these two options going forward. Please respond within 30 days, and then that sets a thing, because so then at the next meeting or in 2 meetings,
Okay.
whatever the timing is, we can actually start moving to take it back.
I have to check because we do have, like, we initiated with an attorney for 34,
Okay,
so
But
I'll
that-
check with her,
And that attorney can't handle 38.
right, because she would represent the buyer.
got it.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah,
Got it.
okay,
Alrighty, how about 146?
so the only update with that is that they, I guess, are still I have to sign off on an affidavit, there's another conference, or there is a conference that's gonna be set up, I don't have a date yet.
Who's gonna be that?
Javier, who's our attorney for that. It's just with the attorneys and the judge
Oh, okay,
to try to.
What is it,
a settlement
mediation
agreement.
or something?
Huh?
Mediation?
Like a conference with the judge.
The building from the back, and I don't know if this is because they blew out the basement wall, is really settling in frightening ways.
Mhm.
I was on another property's backyard last week and it's getting more expensive by
So they didn't stabilize it or anything? Thanks.
the whole, like there's the masonry party wall that's attached to the one next door. And the whole thing is dropping.
So maybe when you, I mean, you probably have to bring back whatever we talk about with the judge, but maybe what we're sending in this letter is, obviously the one is take it back, but also if you have to give something, maybe your gift is, hey, we'd consider someone else taking it as long as it's a third party transaction.
Mhm.
Cause it sounds like we may not want it back.
It's bad.
Oh, for 146.
For 146, right, when you're in front of the judge, and like, okay, well, what's oh, you know, I know I have the right to take it back, but what would you give him? We'll say like, hey, I'd give him the right to.
What was the outcome with the city property next door? I think that was the one.
So.
Did it go to someone else?
No, we're still going through the list, the land banks, I can't say more than this, but they're not the highest at this point, but that doesn't mean when we go through the.
I think that's the one
Prices.
thing is if it did end up in the land bank's hands, having those two side by side would really be materially different,
Mhm.
Agreed.
but it is,
So that brings us to the other topic I want to discuss, which I think is something we can go into private session on with our attorneys.
Okay.
Again, just a reminder, you don't have to, but you can discuss this privately with counsel to seek and receive legal advice. Just keep in mind, once you close the meeting's closed, right? You can't come back in session if you wanted to take any action. I don't know that you would have any plans to, but that's the only downside is you have to wait for your next regular meeting to take any action if you wanted to.
Okay, so do we want to finish up the other things before we go into that?
Oh, the other topic I had said was property sales. You know, we could really use some income from sales revenue. And you know, we have acquired some lots recently from the city, and we also have 10 Chambers across the street, which is a significant lot. So I wanted to revisit that topic about how we can get the city to, I guess it's sign off on this easement for the Liberty Street side, because it's just kind of on hold indefinitely, and we have costs associated with maintaining the lot. And it would be good to be able to have something developed there as well as be able to sell it. So that was one thing, and then there is one lot, one of the lots that other newer lots that we acquired, we've been getting some inquiries on, which is the 302 Branch.
Oh,
Which is a larger lot, and that, you know, it's a good site and location, and so I didn't know if the board wanted to entertain disposing of that.
oh yeah, we need money?
Yeah.
Why not?
Mhm.
I thought it was, they were marketing it, and it was for sale, isn't it?
302 Branch.
Not
No, we purchased it, or we got it for $1, actually.
All right, I must be thinking of another.
And so
On Grand Street.
we could put out a request for applications.
I think that's fine, I think
Yeah.
I don't think cutting our teeth, that's a tough neighborhood to cut our teeth on
Yeah,
ground up development,
Mhm.
So just having someone else do it seems.
there's a property, it's like 380 grand. No, the opposite number, so 381 or something. Used to be years ago, had a big apartment building on it, and that was torn down and sat vacant. They just put a sign up the other day.
Okay, I see where it's at.
I'd be curious about that.
could Jeremy talk to us about current thinking?
Yeah, I don't, I don't know if it's Jeremy or Jason, but yeah, I mean, maybe that's our thing. Jason, you have to come to the next meeting and explain this to us.
Yeah, 'cause they still don't quite understand what
They're
the
making the
holdup
city
is.
sign something that they're not comfortable signing, and
City
that's
is-
where it is. yeah,
my like base understanding that this happens other places, like DC is not coming after the city of Newburgh for this
correct,
money.
right, so we don't,
But we have to sign a form
Right.
saying, yes,
Right.
you like. We're taking on the risk. So I guess Jason would have to be comfortable with that risk.
and now that he's in charge, he may have a better understanding
Right.
of the,
Yeah,
Both
he's
sides,
certainly
and be
been
more
through a lot
comfortable.
of brownfield and
Right.
cleanup stuff. That'd be great if that.
Right,
could
cause then it would
get-
also open up Liberty Street side, you know, to develop as well.
I
for the
don't-
city.
I think selling the Grand Street lot makes good sense. I don't think, given the value of land here right now, it makes sense to sell this. I
It's
think
a
this
nice
is
piece of
much,
property.
yeah, it's a much better development
Yeah.
potential for the land bank. Especially if this co-op is a successful project, that is
Mhm.
like a great follow-up.
It's just, yeah.
I know, it's
years out,
just-
but- Okay,
It's just, there aren't.
we can start working on the RFA for the 302 grand.
Good.
And then, yeah, let's invite Jason to the next meeting.
And make sure he knows why.
Mhm.
and then I have a new business item.
Okay,
So there's some, I don't want, I can go very deep, but I don't think I need to. There's an issue right now that happened in the state budget, and it has meant that at least 6 projects in the state of Newburgh who have pilots through the IDA,
Mhm.
as it is now, they have to pay prevailing wage if they want to finish those projects. So there are a lot of different avenues, but one of the avenues, and this is the one that's being pushed by Scoopus, if you call Scoopus's office, is that you can just go to the city for a pilot. The big issue with that, other than going to the city for a pilot, but the big issue is that the only way that the city can grant a pilot is to an HDFC, that what allows the city to grant pilots that we've been using is through that. These developers, they're not into this, because they were all using PLP, they weren't planning on having a not-for-profit partner. So what I'm bringing up here is just the thought, would we ever consider, and what would our price be? I think I can see a world where we could be asked in the next couple of months, would you like to be our development partner? And it's better to not be flat-footed. It would be probably mostly, you know, in name only. But we would probably, we would get a fee out of it. So, right, I just wanna, let's start thinking about if that comes up. Hey, the land bank could do that for you, and this is what it would cost
Then we would
us.
set up a separate HDFC.
Correct.
or JV.
Yep.
Okay.
It would not be 40%, cause that's how
Right.
much prevailing wages, so that's a wash on that, but, right, could we make a little money? And what paperwork would it take from us, right, so how much attorney's fees and everything? I think just having those costs in mind, may come up in the next couple months.
Okay. I don't understand the prevailing wage aspect, or they get out of prevailing wage?
They would get out because the city council pilots don't have to pay prevailing wage.
Okay,
I can go much deeper into it, I just don't wanna
Yeah, no,
tie
it's
up the
fine.
meeting with.
It's a good workaround.
It's one of like 6 workarounds, and the other is just blow up the whole thing, which they may do, like, I don't know, there's a
So-
lot of, right, there's a lot of different avenues, I just, again, I think we're well positioned. Rupco wants to do its own thing, so I think the land bank and safe harbor, and they've been very clear, HGC has been very clear that they want an experienced development partner who has experience doing HDFCs, so I have that from Philippe in writing, right, they've said that to him. I think it's basically like friendly, local, will do it, safe harbors in the land bank, so.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it comes to us and we can just make a little money,
sounds good.
yeah, right, so I don't know what we'd have to do really.
Now, I think we've done this before. That we just.
Gotten ourselves entangled in
It's just
scheme,
as
other
a
people's
conduit
schemes.
It's
for-
very complicated.
Yeah.
Somehow I know about it, and where would I know about it? Anyway, okay, great, that'll be next month, let's see, we can go
Yeah,
into it.
it's
We'll have
right,
more
and you'll
time.
have the time for, you'll have some experience from the, you know, recent experience from this, Legacy City one.
Right,
Yeah, like what the legal costs are, all of those, what it actually costs us and how much we want out of it.
okay.
Sounds good. Alrighty, would you like to go into private session with our attorney? we need to close this meeting. And,
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ramona. All in favor of closing? Everybody, thank you very much. Just a second while we shut our streaming down.